Today I'm going to be tying up a long-tailed salmon fly, as they seem to be quite popular on the channel recently, with a bit of a Christmas twist. Okay, so just added on my thread, and I'm using a size 10 red Patriot here. And I'm going to add on what will be my tag and my rib, which will be, this is quite thick gold gold wire, but you could use gold oval if you wanted. And then I'm just going to bring that thread down to just before the hook points. And then just get our gold wire and twist that over at the end there, 4 or 5 turns, and then tuck the last turn underneath. And then just a few turns to secure it in. And go up towards the head. Then I'm going to double it back again. Okay, I'm going to press it because it's quite thicker than normal. And then I'm going to use my thread, and that'll secure in that tag. Okay, it's bucktail for the tail, so I'm going to use a wee bit of thread just to level that off, so there's not too much of a kick at the tag, because this is quite large gold wire. Okay, so for the tail I'm going to use some mixed bucktail. So I have some prepared here and stacked. So it's basically hot orange and yellow bucktail, typical Cascade colours. Okay, and because it's size 10, I'm going to have quite a thick tail. Okay, and length of tail is entirely up to yourself. I usually have it about twice the length of the shank, maybe a wee bit more, 2 to 3 times the length of the shank. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure it on top very lightly around the middle of the shank, and have a look at it before I straighten things up. And I don't think that's long enough, so I'm just going to pull those at her just ever so slightly. Okay, and that's where it's less permanent if you can do it in the middle of the shank. You have room to play with. Okay, I'm also going to add on a bit of flice. So normally you would use pearl for typical Cascade. Sometimes you use gold. We're using a gold body Cascade, but I'm going to use gold this time anyway, to keep with the Christmas theme. Okay. How many strands you use is entirely up to yourself. I'll probably use 4 or 5 here. Okay. So I'm going to put that on top of that bucktail. Bear in mind, bucktail still hasn't been secured in. Okay, and now I start to run my thread down to that tag there. Okay, as I get close to it, I'm going to get a bit of super glue. And I'm going to put this on the thread. And what this does is this helps secure in that bucktail without having to use any tight wraps that can make the bucktail splay. Okay. Then I'm going to get my scissors and cut the excess. Okay, and then just run that thread down the body just to help give that taper. Okay, then for the body I'm going to use material that I'm quite new to. This is Largaton mini flat braid. So this is the fluorescent green. It's a lovely colour. I think it'll be perfect for this here. I'm just going to add that on at the top. Whenever I'm using flat braid, I don't bring the flat braid right up to the tag. I leave it a little bit, about 1 millimeter or 2 beforehand, just because it takes up quite a bit. And then I get my thread. I'll put a bit of super glue on the thread for the underbody, so there's no slippage. Okay. Then a few turns at the start. And you can do them quite wide turns, so it doesn't have to be too level, especially whenever you're using flat braid. You could be there all day trying to get it level. Okay, another wee bit here of super glue at the end. Okay, and then just one turn right at the tag, and then we start bringing that flat braid down the body. And hopefully you can start to see the Christmas colours. It's a bit of fun, but I can see this being absolutely deadly for fish, particularly fresh fish. Okay, a few turns to secure that in. Trim off your excess, and while I have the scissors, I'm also going to trim off some of the flesh here at the tail as well. Okay, so next we get our gold wire, or whatever you prefer, rib. Okay, and we just do about 5 wraps of that down the body. Okay, secure that in. I always like to secure the rib in underneath in a few turns, and then you want to helicopter the wire. So basically twist the wire away from the thread that you're using, and I'll give you a more secure cut. Okay, I'm also going to add a wee bit more wax on the thread. Because I have that wire right up to the thread, if I put on my wing now, it'll kick it up too far. So I'm going to start building up that head to level of where that rib will be. Okay, so for the wing, I'm going to use some, this is red squirrel, or sorry, grey squirrel dyed red. Okay, I'm going to just take off what I believe would be a nice size section and trim that part off at the base. Okay, then I'm going to just remove what I think will be the underfur, and this time it's thinning it out. I'm probably going to keep on thinning it here. Okay, until I think I have a right length. So I just want to go to the end of the hook. Okay, so to make things easier, I'm going to cut what I think will be the excess of the squirrel. Then I'm going to level that up with a pinch and lip. I'm going to secure it in. Okay, a few turns just up to that rib. So there we go. Okay, happy enough of that there. So, squirrel doesn't compress well under thread. So it's very important that you use either varnish or super glue to really finish that off. So super glue drops will make sure that that does not slip out by your own fingers or whenever a fish takes it. Okay, so happy enough of that there. And then lastly we have to add on our hackles. So going to use 2 hackles. So I'm actually going to use fluorescent yellow instead of just the regular yellow, just a wee bit brighter fly. Okay, I'm going to add that on the tacky glue, and then I'm going to get the fibres and pull those back. That'll give me a very secure hold. Then I'm just going to start to train those fibres to go inwards. Okay. And then we just start wrapping just in front of that wing. Yeah, I think probably 2 wraps will be enough for this size of fly, because I'm going to be using another 2 or 3 for the hot orange. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this hackle 45 degrees. A few waxed wraps of thread. I'm going to trim off my excess. Okay, anything going forward, just bring that back and go over it again. And at the same time, you're securing in that hackle. Neaten up if you want to. There's a few wee fibres here that are probably too small to bring back. Okay. Okay, so lastly we need our orange hackle. So what I do is I just break off the tip, as I did before, and expose a few fibres. And then because I don't have super glue on these thread wraps, I just use wax and just tie in at that break. Bring the fibres back and again secure it in. Then we'll start to train our fibres to go down in the stalk. Okay. And then we just wrap our hackle on. So do 1. 2, and then I'll see if 2 will be enough. Yeah, 2 will be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'll take this back just for a neater finish. I'm going to do 1 wrap, and then I'm going to remove what I think will be the excess after the next wrap. Okay. And then bring your thread and cut into that. Oh. Start again. Bring your hackle round onto the 2 wraps. And bring your thread on to cut in that. Okay, what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to put a bit of super glue on the thread, which will again secure these hackle stalks, but at the same time I'm going to change my thread. I'm going to change onto a floss, so it'll save me having to do a whip finish. Okay, so I'm going to cut off my excess. Also a little rogue fibre here, but I'm going to cut off when I'm cutting the thread off. Okay, so now we just add on our floss to create a very striking head. Okay, after a few turns, I don't strip the floss off, I normally just cut it off compared to the thread. Okay. Just want to build up that head, make sure that all the white is covered. Check on all sides. And then once you're finished, just get your whip finish tool. And 3 or 4 turns that there. We'll keep it nice and secure. And that's your Christmas cascade, folks. So, bit of fun, but I'm sure it'll be deadly, and I will be keeping this in the box, especially for the spring. Hopefully you enjoyed that video, folks. If you did, do check out the other ones coming up on screen now. Hit the like button and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Until next time, thanks very much. All the best.